Hello, my friends. I'm feeling a bit better today for sure. So thank you for your patience and for all the love you guys sent me. I received it. I'm feeling much better, so thank you. A few announcements. Today, in about an hour, I will be hosting a free numerology class with my colleague and also soul teacher graduate, Paula. Super excited because I had a reading with her like 2 weeks ago, amazing reading, and she brought numerology and kind of like explained my destiny, my life path through certain little things in numerology. So since I'm teaching the Soul Purpose program, I was like, oh, we need this. So I invited her to share her knowledge. We'll be doing that today, and it's open for anybody. It's free. And then if you take the Soul Purpose class, it will also be like in the back end, so you can watch it again if you need to. But yeah, Molly's making a lot of noise. She's fighting with one of her stuffed animals. So sorry if you hear that noise. So that, and then also for the Soul-Led Purpose program, hold on, Molly wants to go play. All right, Molly, let's let you out. She has this like little, okay, Mama, go get it. For the Soul-Led Purpose program, I had originally had 4 Zoom sessions, all at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we have so many people in Europe or other time zones that need another time. So we're going to change the schedule a little bit so that there's 2 7 p.m.s, but also 2 noons, so that we can, accommodate more people. So I just wanted to mention that as well. I'm so excited to teach Purpose. We have a lot of people signing up, which is just making me so happy. It's all new information, stuff I've been downloading for a while, but I had never really put it together. So I'm excited to teach that and just have those conversations with you guys and just help you remember. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be, and it's a lot. I'm such an overgiver, that I've been making the program oh my gosh, Nikki, tone it down, but I just don't know how to tone it down. So you're also just going to get a lot for what you're purchasing. So can't wait to do it with you. Okay, let's do Monday reading on a Tuesday. Okay, so the first message I was getting, now I forgot what it was. Wait. Okay. The first message that I was receiving was, it's not that serious, is kind of what I was getting. It felt very much like whatever we're asking about, whatever you're questioning or thinking about, there needs to be laughter and a playfulness and a joy to this thing, that it's not as serious as you may think. And I know there are some things in life that feel more serious than others. But if you could bring lightness to this, if you could laugh about this thing, if you could see it from a more playful angle, kind of how would you approach it? Where would you go from here? I was just having this hilarious conversation with my good girlfriend, Caro, who's telling me about this book, and that the book, kind of explains that concept that we are just these spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we're creators, so we've made up our whole lives. And she's like, oh my gosh, I've made everything, even the complicated things. And she's joking about how kind of depressing that could be, but also just being really funny about it. So it's this concept that's a little oh my gosh, blowing my mind, and it's a little hard, but at the same time we can make fun and play with it. And it was just such a funny conversation. It made me laugh so much. So that's kind of the vibe, the things that are serious in life, how can they be more fun? Also, if maybe your spirits are down or something like that, the other kind of message to this is to bring laughter into your life. So maybe it's watching some comedy, or putting on a funny show, or when people are talking to you, almost seeing the laughter in it. So yesterday, Oliver, my middle son, came home and he was kind of complaining about something from summer camp, but he was saying it in a way that was so funny. And instead of taking that complaint seriously and being oh gosh, I put him in the wrong camp or whatever, I started laughing about the way he was complaining. And then he started laughing, he was laughing at the thing he was complaining about. And it just kind of lightened myself as a mother. It lightened him by the thing that he was annoyed at. And it was just a really funny experience, and it brought laughter into our lives. So that's what this message is about. It's about you actually can't see the thing clearly yet because you're being too serious about it. You're taking too much of a serious approach. Another message again is taking more of a childlike approach, a little bit more fun, a little bit more lightness, and it's also just going to bring kind of like the stress levels down. I just have a feeling that like you can't see this thing clearly because there's too much pressure or too much like riding on this thing, and we have to remove that to be able to really see like the solutions, to bring down like that stress level also. And that's why we need this kind of fun, making fun of, jokey playfulness. If any of you have taken classes with me, you know that that's like how I roll, like always making fun of things. So that's kind of the vibe here. And once you get into that energy a little bit, then there's going to be a clarity that comes that like you haven't been able to see yet. So, and also just like whatever you're doing, it makes me feel like it doesn't have to be so professional. It doesn't have to be so perfect anymore to kind of like start releasing that. I mean, example is like, I'm not shooting in my office today. I didn't like get myself really ready, but I'm still doing this video. That maybe taking that pressure of dressing up every day and, you know, looking a certain way can help me like move with more flow in like what I want to do, right? So it feels like also removing any sort of barrier to entry to the thing that you want. And that perfectionism or that professionalism or that like super seriousness is kind of a barrier to enter where you're trying to go. So yeah, those are the messages. All right. The second message was about faith. It felt like, you know, kind of a little similar to the first one, but it was like, can't you just like believe a little bit? You know, it almost, you know, it's kind of like making that scientist who's like maybe like trying to figure it out like logically and trying to, you know, get all the data, and it almost like there's like a wall that you hit at some point with science, and you're just like, oh, I don't have an answer about this. So you kind of have to go into this faith base. So that's kind of what this feels like, almost like you've gone as far as you can. And at this point, you just have to believe, you know, like you have to release. It almost makes me, it feels very mindfulness. Like it makes me feel like can you eliminate your brain a little bit? Like almost like not listen to your brain a little bit more, like not listen to the chatter anymore. Like it's just, it's gotten you, it's not a bad thing, but it's like gotten you as far as it can. And at this point, like none of that logic or the brain stuff really, like it's not needed in this place is kind of what it feels like to me. So there's a lot of presence. So it feels like, you know, can I just be in this moment? Can I just be here? Can I accept what is and not give so much, away to my mind? So there's a little bit of, you know, kind of like the mind and the logic that's like trying to come in here. And then faith, the reason like faith was coming forward was like, faith also to me is like synonymous with like surrender, you know, with just like letting go. And oftentimes it's like letting go the thoughts, like us letting go what it, you know, like it's kind of hard to understand like what does letting go mean or what does surrender mean. And it's really like the brain has like this control, you know, it's like it's always trying to do something or it's always trying to find an answer or whatever. And at some point just like quieting that, which is why we seek things like alcohol or marijuana or like whatever. I feel like an old person like marijuana, like whatever, you know, whatever thing we're seeking to kind of numb it out, because we're just trying to make that thing stop. So this feels like very much like, can I just chill out and not have my mind, you know, have so much, feel the need to control everything. So there has to be a little bit of surrender, a little bit of just kind of like falling into knowing that you're being held. It makes me feel like that toddler that's like fighting and the mom just like wants to carry them and like hold them tight and just kind of help them relax. That's what I'm feeling like from spirit and from like Mother Earth, that it just kind of wants to just carry you and hold you and take care of things, but you're not really allowing it. So can I kind of like trust fall into that stuff? It also makes me feel like whatever you're asking about, like you can't make it go any faster. like you can't fit, like it's either going to happen or it's not going to happen, you know, and your efforts or you're thinking about it, or you're strategizing about it at this point where we are in like the creation of this thing that you're trying to create. Like, I don't see your efforts making too much of a difference. It feels the effort of just showing up, which is like presence, like, oh, today I'm, you know, meant to do this, I'm, you know, meant to do that. But the kind of like strategizing doesn't seem important. Feels like we're very much like in a destiny place right now. Like, what is that? There's a lot of things that are happening because they're meant to happen, or we're moving into the manifestation, like the physical manifestation of old intentions. So the summer is really going to be that, like July and August is going to be like, oh, like the manifestation of intentions that were maybe being set in January and December, that kind of stuff. So at this point, like there's not too much more to do. And also, like, if you didn't set the right intentions earlier, you know, trying to play this catch up is not going to work so much. There's something about this time. So there has to be a letting go and a faith that like the intentions that you have set are coming, and that realizing like how you're trying to kind of force something that is already kind of set in stone, that there's like a destiny to this thing that you're trying to control. So, and you just can't in this moment. You can set intentions for the future. Like, you can be, you know, you can kind of set, you know, wishes and dreams for the future, but not necessarily for some of the things that you're trying to like do right now. So yeah, those are my messages. I hope they made sense. They really make sense in my, in like my being, but I hope I was able to communicate it well. And thank you guys for being here. I can't wait to see you in numerology class. And thank you for just holding me accountable to these messages. They're always good for me too, and they fill me up so much. I love you very much, and I hope to see you in numerology and in the soul purpose, which I teach my first class on Thursday. So we're excited, and I'll see you soon.